Sometimes I hear voices. They're after me. 5-0. Run, motherfucker.
You have had a peculiar career in that you have done some great small indie stuff.
Right.
Love SLC Punk, love Finder's Fee. I hear great things about Spooner here at the festival. You've done those things, and you've done the big budget stuff too. Is this a calculated career path?
You certainly have badges of shame. I mean, all your movies you love, like a fat kid in your brood. I mean, you love the fat ones as well as the pretty ones. So,
but laugh at them a little bit.
In the Name of the King, I have said since it wrapped, it is the worst movie ever made. Since it wrapped, and I've never seen the whole thing. I've just fast forward through my parts.
And you don't have to box with Uwe because of that.
The what?
You don't have to go box with Uwe over that comment.
No, I mean, I love him.
Yeah.
He called me and said, will you do Postal? I was like, I can't. I can only do one. You know, one's shame on, whatever that is. I don't want to be a Bush. One's shame on me, twice shame on me, you. What? I think there are very few actors and very few artists, for that matter, can calculate career path. And I think that's one of the misconceptions in the world is that you're in control of the things you choose to do. Of course, you are always in control and you can always say no. But at some point, unless you have the ability to write your own destiny, you're at the mercy of what comes down the street.
You do say no to things, and you could say no to anything. I mean, you could have said no to Spooner, which obviously is a low budget, and you could have said no to 13 Ghosts, but you did not say no to either of those things. So those are decisions of something.
Right. Yeah, and every decision has a price to pay, and every decision has the positive. I mean, the great thing about Spooner, it's an interesting story, actually. Drake Doremus, who came out of AFI, his writing partner, Lindsay Stidham, had written a movie called The Toy Chest. And it was a $3 million movie, $2.5 million movie, and it was Sarah Silverman and myself. And we looked for 6 months to find the money. We couldn't find the money. He and Lindsay came to me with a 40-page script, and they said, will you read this? I was like, yeah, of course. And they said, we want you to play the boss in the movie, which has like 2 scenes. And I was like, well, wait a second, what about this guy Spooner? And I said, well, at a movie at this level, the amount of money you were going to do it for, because they had promised themselves that they were going to make a movie that year, no matter what. And this was their answer to that.
So it's either going to be the Silverman Lillard vehicle, or this, or Spooner.
Or something in between. They were committed to making a movie. And that's the great thing about working with young people who are just new and fresh, and they have all this energy, and they're eager, and he's a wonderkind. He's just so gifted, very, very talented.
And it's Drake Doremus, and he's 24.
He's 25 now.
25, okay.
I was in for the ride, and I was in for the bet. I'd watched all the student films from AFI, and there was a leap of faith associated with it. But you're like, it's fulfilling the creative side of you, and not the business side. And it was, it's turned out to be a really amazing experience. Dad, what are you doing? If you could adjust the mirrors, maybe. That's what a lot of people do when they buy cars. Good work. Hermit! Oh, Dad, I didn't ask Mom to set me up on something.
She's a big girl, but she's pretty.
If I don't eat, everyone will suffer. I don't want to have the red-hot acid barbs.
Well, look at this donut. That's a big fat 0. And right now, that's exactly where your sales quota's going.
Are you okay? If you just met me, would you think that I was like an interesting person?
about it. I hear people talking. It seems to be positive.
Yeah, it's all very exciting. You know, we're a little bit of the belle of the ball for Slamdance.
Right.
And I always think that film festivals are very interesting. Every time you walk around, someone's like, oh, you're in that movie, you're in that movie. So it feels like everyone's talking about your movie. The reality is, everyone's hearing, you know, this about your movie, and this about your movie, and this about your movie, and they're all coming to you. So you feel like, oh, this is everyone, we're on the top of everyone's list. But the reality is, everyone feels like they're on the top of everyone's list.
It is the sleeper hit of the festival, I believe is the quote, which is awfully nice.
Which is, you know, it's amazing what a reviewer can do
Right.
to you and for you. He's dictated the path of this gem of a movie, you know, and without that kind of review or without that kind of validation or notice, this movie could easily slip into oblivion. And so it's funny because this week I found out that I may be nominated for a Razzie. So to go from the Slamdance sleeper Kenneth Turan hit to a Razzie is like, which is unbelievable because I think it's a really funny performance. I think it's like a really funny performance.
Right. Now for a Razzie, is it a dishonor just to be nominated, or is it still an honor?
It's definitely dishonor. You don't go to bed at night going, I really want to get nominated for a Razzie.